Hey everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts again. I am bringing you a new tutorial today on how to make these beautifully decorated, they're little wooden pieces that I get from a local craft store that I have nearby. Look at the sparkle in these. And so I'm doing this tutorial today. These are refrigerator magnets. And I'm sorry, you guys, I'm still trying to get used to how I'm supposed to hold these darn things up to the camera. And I add a lot of sparkle and shine to these pieces, as you can see, using diamond dust and some other things. But today's video, I'm actually going to be using some of the supplies that were sent to me by beadcraft.com, and I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised with how these are going to turn out, because these are all refrigerator magnets that I made. Today I'm going to turn a couple of these little pieces into pendants. So there's a couple more, and I'm sorry, these are already attached to some little card pieces that I have, because these are actually for sale in my Etsy shop. So I didn't want to take them off of the cards to show you guys, but you'll see how they look when I get these two finished. So we're going to be doing that today. So get ready, and I'm going to go ahead and start this tutorial for you. Again, the products that I'm going to be using from BB Craft today are these wonderful bead caps that they sent me to test out and review. And if you had the opportunity to watch, I did a video yesterday on the unboxing of some of the items that BB Craft sent me, and I'm really pleased with the quality of these items. And then I'm going to also be using these glass pearls that they sent me that are really pretty colors, really vibrant. The box comes with 10 colors, and I kept these mostly in the family of the purples and pinks, maybe kind of wine colors. And then there's some almost root beer colors in here too. So I will be using those beads as well. So those are the items from BB Craft that I will be using today in this tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with decorating these two pieces. And actually, the other thing that I'm going to use, I almost forgot, is I'm going to use some of this Rhinestone Chain on one of these pieces. And BB Craft also sent me this Rhinestone Chain. It's a gold-backed chain, and it has iridescent rhinestones on it, and I really like it. These are 2.6 millimeter rhinestones, and I'm excited to see how they work out on this project. I'll be using those on the heart. Okay, so what we're going to start out with is I'm going to be using some E6000, and I'm also going to be using my hot glue. And I use, just so that you guys know, when I use hot glue, I use Gorilla hot glue, because it seems to hold a lot better than your regular hot glue does. And I think I better reach back here real quick and grab another glue stick, because I think I'm going to run out of glue before this is all said and done. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this little heart piece, and I'm going to decide exactly how I want these flowers to sit on this piece. And I think I'm going to start here. And I know you guys have seen other videos where I've used these flowers, and I'm sorry if it gets kind of boring that I use them, but I'm really enjoying, and they really look good on these pieces. So that's why I'm using them here. So I'm going to place those there, and then maybe I'll just kind of try and place these on this butterfly and see how I'm going to want those to sit as well, because that way I'll have it kind of figured out before we get started. Okay, so that's kind of how the flowers are going to lay on these. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my glue gun and put these on there, because the hot glue will work perfectly fine with this. And the reason that I'm not using E6000 on this, because I normally do, and I've got strings everywhere, is because this is wood and not glass or plastic or something hard and smooth and cold. So this will stick on this wood and it will stay. It will have staying power, because there's these little nooks and crannies in these pieces that glue can kind of go through there and grab onto that wood. So I am using hot glue with these today. And we're going to put this little one down here at the bottom, like that. So that's what we have so far. Already it's really pretty. And then we're going to go ahead and glue these pieces onto this butterfly as well, since we're at this stage in the process. So let's get our hot glue on there. Whoops, I'm sorry if I'm getting out of frame, you guys. I'm trying to be very mindful of that, because I gotta tell you, I did an entire video, and I was so mad at myself. I did an entire video out of frame. I was like right here in the frame instead of being out here, and I'm sorry if I tend to get out of frame a couple of times doing this process, but I'm going to try and be mindful of where I'm at while I'm putting these pieces on. So I'm going to try and keep my focus on that. And we're going to put that one there. Okay, so that's what the butterfly looks like so far. Really cute. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this heart and I'm going to add the rhinestone chain to the heart. Now the thing about using the smaller rhinestone chain is it doesn't seem like it lines up as easily as when you use like a 4mm chain that's heavier. And although it still works, and the best way that I've found, just so that you guys know, I know a lot of people will take the rhinestone chain and the natural thing is to want to put it on the top of the piece like this. And unfortunately, when you do that, the chain doesn't seem to want to line up, you know, perfectly on those edges. It wants to kind of get a squiggle in it, and it's really, really hard to fix that, to make it lay straight. So the best way to do that, honestly, and it seems more difficult, but it really isn't, is to glue the rhinestone chain on these edges here so that the rhinestones are facing up on the piece. And I've got something in my nail here, and I don't like that. So that it's facing up on the piece. Oh, and I'm oozing glue out here. Hold on, guys. I want to get something to squeeze that out on. Okay, so I'm going to take a bead of E6000, and I'm going to take it all the way around this piece. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do half and half. Because of the point at the end of the heart here, it makes it really hard if you want to just kind of try and go all the way around. It wants to pull away when you turn that corner where the heart is. So we're gonna do this in 2 parts. So I'm going to take my chain and lay it on its side like this, and I'm going to go around the outside of this heart. And you'll find that this rhinestone chain, now you guys, these hearts, I actually purchased them at a little local shop that I buy a lot of my supplies from. And they have real reasonable prices for me. And they always have some really unique items for me to choose from when it comes to my crafting. And every time I go in there, there's something new that I can use and try in my crafting projects. Now these little hearts, I actually bought them a little while back at this little store, and I had them sitting around, and I just, for the life of me, couldn't figure out what to do with them. They were cute, they were pretty, and I knew that they would, you know, really make something nice, but I couldn't decide what I needed to do with them. So they've been sitting around in my stash for quite some time. I'm going to snip this right here at this last rhinestone, and I'm just going to kind of adjust this so that I'm sure all of the rhinestones are pointing up like that. Whoopsie, I just pulled it off because I had glue on my finger. Okay. And once this E6000 dries, this is going to stay on here with no problem at all. It's gonna really hold well. I trust E6000 more than any other glue or adhesive that I use. So this is kind of what it looks like so far. Now we're going to do the other side. So again, I'm going to run a bead of E6000, and I'm going to touch that last rhinestone on the other side because this piece is going to touch that piece. So we want to make sure that they kind of bond together on this piece, so that they, you know, it's just an extra bonding, and it feels more like one piece if they're together like that. So we're going to take this rhinestone chain again and start right here at that last rhinestone, and we're going to get our point and go around, making sure all the rhinestones are pointing up. And take your time with this process, because if you try to rush through it, I'm going to decide where I need to cut this. If you try to rush through it, it's just going to mess up on you, and you're going to get frustrated, and things will start falling off and all that good stuff. So I take my time with this part of the process because I want it to get on there properly, and I don't want to have to move things around too much after the fact. So we've got that rhinestone butted up against the other one, and see, that wasn't too hard at all. Now, mind you, I've been doing this for a while, and so I'm kind of used to the process, and when I first started doing it, it wasn't all that easy. So, whoops, there's that one. So we have our rhinestone on there, and now we are going to finish embellishing this. I love this rhinestone chain. It looks really pretty, and the gold and the iridescent stones almost kind of give it a little bit of a vintagey look, and that's kind of what I'm looking for on these to begin with. So I'm liking it a lot. So, and again, this rhinestone chain that I got from BB Craft is 10 yards for $6.99. So that's really a very good price. I normally buy my rhinestone chain on Amazon and pay quite a bit more for it. But there again, I normally buy the 4mm, although BB Craft does carry the 4mm chain, just so that you know that. But these little tiny rhinestones actually on these pieces fit perfectly along the edge of this. You can see there. It's about the same exact thickness as the wood on this heart. So actually, I'm thinking the small rhinestones were better for these pieces than the big would have been. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find some embellishments to finish these off with, and then move on to the next step. Because again, if you remember, I'm going to turn these into pendants. So this is a small earring that I purchase a lot of little earring packages and things like that. And I just take them apart and use them as embellishments on my pieces. So on this one, on this set, this is going to be, well, no, this won't be a set. These will be individual pendants. So on this particular one, let's see, do I want to use that on the butterfly? I think I do, and I think I'm going to take this piece because it's a little bit bigger, and I'm going to use this one on the heart. So just snip I just take my little nippers and snip this little post off the back of the earring. And I think that is going to be gorgeous on this one. So we will go ahead, and what I'm going to do with these is I am going to use my E6000, but I'm also going to use a tiny drop of hot glue so that I can get these to sort of stay in place until they the E6000 completely dries. So I'm going to put this one right here on top of those roses. I'm going to hold it down for a minute, let that hot glue set in, and then I'm going to take and do the same thing. Oops, I should have had that over this, with this little piece. And I just love all these little rhinestone pieces that I get from this little store because they work out perfectly, especially on my my small items. And I didn't put hot glue on that, but I'm not going to mess with it at this point. It'll be fine. They just look so pretty on these. Look at this. So this is so far what I've got. Oopsie. Whoop. Okay, there we go. So that's what I have so far with the butterfly. And so far, this is what the heart looks like. Super pretty. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to do, and this is where this could get difficult. Maybe I should put a little drop of hot glue under this because I'm going to need it to stay down. Because since we are turning these into pendants, I want to make sure that I have everything down, that it's not going to fall off while I'm playing with the jump rings and so forth. So, okay. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy pliers and my round nose pliers. So these are the 3 sets of tools that you're going to need for this next step. I'm going to make some bead dangles, and I'm going to use these bead caps from BB Craft, and I'm also going to use these colored beads. So the next step is going to be, I'm going to take, first I'm going to take one of these eye pins, and it's got the eye at the end of it. And I'm going to start with using, let's see, we want to use the appropriate colors to kind of go with this. And look at how beautiful those pearls look with those flowers. They match perfectly. So what I'm going to do first is, try not to let that, well, we'll just put that back. I'm going to take some of my existing beads. I'm going to take one of these tiny, I'm going to say these are about a 2mm pearl. And this is just an acrylic pearl that I had in my stash. Just so that you know, these are not the BB Craft pearls. And then I'm going to take oops, I still had tape on there. Oh goodness. Trying to get the tape off my hand. We're going to take one of these little flower bead caps. Super cute. It's a small size to go with these 6mm glass beads. I'm going to put that one on first. And then one of these wine-colored glass pearls. Super pretty. Okay, there we go. Can we get it to focus? Oh goodness. Come on, focus. All right, we'll just do it back here. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to take another one of these, the same bead caps. I'm going to put it on the top of this bead going in the other direction. And actually, while I'm looking at this, I think I want a smaller bead cap on the top. So I'm going to go over here to an even smaller size. Well, that's still not small enough. I think I want to go to my tiniest bead cap. There we go. Oh, that looks really pretty. I think I might actually, I'm going to change my mind here. I'm going to take that one off. I'm going to put one of these small bead caps. These are a 6mm bead or 7mm bead cap. I'm going to put my bead on and I'm going to put one of those same bead caps on the top. And that looks really cute. And then I'm going to take another one of these. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit bigger. These are 4mm acrylic pearls. I'm going to put one of those in the center there. And I'm going to take, I think I'm going to try these bead caps this time. This is an 8mm. And let's see, that one kind of goes really well too. So I'm going to try this color. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. And use that bead cap. And then I'm going to take another one of these 4mm acrylic pearls. And a couple of these tiny 2mm acrylic pearls. Let's see, there we go. Oops, I lost the hole. There's one, and there's two. And I think that's it, you guys. And I'm gonna clip a tiny little bit off of the end of this, making this end piece about 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm going to bend it over, and then I'm going to take the end of my round nose pliers and I'm just going to loop that piece like that. And there we have it. Okay, so this has 2 loops on it. We've got a loop at either end. And so what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to hang a dangle from the end of this, and unfortunately I have to use one of these big eye pins. I hate to use them up like this, but I don't have any short ones in this antique bronze color, so I'm going to have to use this one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tiny little dangle with one of these acrylic beads. Let me see, let me get another one. And this is the difference between the acrylic pearls, which I already had. These are just little cheapy acrylic pearls that I bought. And these glass pearls. These glass pearls are absolutely gorgeous. 0 flaws in them. I am so super happy that I got them from BB Craft, because let me tell you, they are really, really gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to take this little dangle piece and I'm going to cut it at about 1/4 of an inch, and I'll save that leftover piece and make another pin out of it for another project. So never throw those away. And we're going to bend that and loop it around. And there we have our little dangle. Now, let's see. Oh boy. Okay, because I'm looking to see, oh, here we go. I was looking to see if I had my other jump rings that my friend Judy sent me. These are not a BB Craft product, just so that you guys know. These I got from a friend of mine who was very sweet and sent me a whole bunch of jump rings and things like that. So I'm going to be using these instead of these silver ones to add these onto my pieces. So I'm going to take and make another dangle charm. There's the little pearl, and on the bottom one I'm going to use these 7mm bead cap, and let's see, maybe on this one I'll go with a little different color combination. I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to go with another 7mm bead cap and one of these tiny, or actually I'm going to go with one of these pearls. This is a 4mm, and then I'm going to go with these bead caps. These are 8mm bead caps, and I think I'm going to do the darker sort of wine colored bead up at the top and cap it with another 8mm bead cap. And then I'm going to take another 6mm pearl and two of these tiny pearls here, and that will do it for this one. And we're going to clip that at about 1/4 inch. Bend this over and then loop it back with your round nose plier. Sometimes you've got to bend it back again just to get it kind of straight and lined up. So there we have 2 dangle charms, and I'm going to make one more of the small dangles. And again, we're just going to go with the pearl. These 2 pieces are going to be very similar in look, but not, because one's a butterfly and one's a heart. So, but both are going to be so pretty when they're done. I am not quite done embellishing the top either, you guys. So I just want to let you know there's going to be a little bit more going into the top of these pieces. And I'll show you what I'm going to do in a minute. But I want to get these on, and that way I don't have to mess with it too much after I put these other pieces on the top. Okay, so the next step is going to be taking these jump rings. And the way that these pieces are made is really cool, because I can take this jump ring and run it through the wood here. There we go. And this top one I'm just going to close up for now, because we're just going to turn these into pendants today. I think I may have one chain that I can use for one of them to show you what it's going to look like. Here's a chain here. I will put a chain on one of them, but the other one I'm still going to have to hunt around for some chains. So, oh, the other thing I need to do is to put these tiny dangle charms onto these larger pieces. So let's take and do that really quick first, so that I know my dangles are done. So I'm just going to take this jump ring, oops, holding it in the wrong spot, open it up, and I'm going to take my little dangle charm and put that on there. And then I'm going to take this piece, and at the bottom here, I'm going to just hook it on there. Close that little dangle up. Make sure that you get it closed all the way so that this doesn't end up falling off later on down the road. And there we have it. Super pretty, you guys. This really looks really, really good. And then the next one, whoopsie, do this real quick. Open that up. Put that little pearl on there. And generally, I have a lot of these little dangle pearls and things made up just to add to my pieces so that I'm not making a whole bunch of them along the line. But since I wanted these done in an antique eye pin and so forth, I didn't have any made up that way. So I needed to use, I needed to make new ones. I'm sorry. I needed to make new ones. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I've already added this loop here. I'm going to add one to the bottom, but as I'm doing that, I'm going to take both of my pliers and open that up. Open them sideways. Don't pull them apart, because when you pull them apart, you're weakening this space right here. And each time you do that, you're making that piece weaker and weaker. So now what we need to do, since this is going to hang like this, we need to hang this sort of in a similar fashion so that it's hanging appropriately. And you guys, I have not made one of these yet, so this is my first go round with this, and I am not exactly sure where I should place this dangle charm, so bear with me on this one. You know what, I may just go ahead and put it at the very bottom hole. I may have to open it up a little bit more since those rhinestones are on there, just to make sure I get it through without disrupting those rhinestones. Okay, so we've got that in the bottom, and you and I together are going to see if this looks right or not. And it could turn out that, you know, on these particular pieces, maybe I would need to put on a glue-on bail, which I really didn't want to have to do because I'm afraid that would show up too much from behind and it wouldn't look right. And I don't have any antique bronze glue-on bails right now. So this was my choice as to how I wanted to do this. And here's what we'll do. We'll take my round nose pliers and hold that like that. So that's sort of the way that this is going to hang. Kind of sideways with that hanging down. So that's how that's going to look. And I think it's actually kind of cute. I like it that it doesn't just, it's not just a straight laced piece. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these onto the butterfly, and the butterfly is going to hang the same way, but the butterfly I think is it's going to be a little bit easier because we're going to go from glue. We're going to go from this tip, the tip of this wing, to this wing. So it's going to hang like this, and it looks like it's kind of supposed to hang that way. So I think this one's going to turn out really, really cool. Okay, so we've got that on there. Next, we're going to put our dangle charm on there. I'm going to open it up this way. We're going to put our dangle charm on there. And we're going to hang that from that little spot right there. I love these pieces because they have those holes in them. I think that is so awesome. And look, that is super gorgeous, and we're not even done yet. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to finish off embellishing the tops of these. So what I'm going to do now, I'm done with my glass pearls and I'm done with my bead caps. I am going to add, I think, I'm going to add one of these to the tops of each of these. And I need my E6000. Where did I put my E6000? Okay, and have I gone blind? I can't find my E6000. Oh my goodness. Doesn't help that I have all this stuff laying around here. I'm getting it all over my other pieces. Okay, actually I was thinking about using, my friend Carol sent me another Happy Mail package that I got today. She's been sending me all kinds of really cool things. Thank you, Carol Nixon. I am in love with these little butterflies and flowers that she sent me. I don't know if I'll use them on these actually though, because they're soft. They'll be great for the magnets, but they're soft, and I think on a pendant they may end up getting worn too easily, so worn out or what have you. So I think I'm just going to, oh, there's my E6000. I dropped it on the floor. I knew it had to be around here somewhere. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these little rhinestones, and these are just rhinestone pieces that I took off of a piece of jewelry. They have a hole actually in them to use them for stringing, but I am not going to string them on anything. I'm going to put them on my beautiful pieces here. So, and I always like a little extra bling somewhere on my pieces. This one is going to go in the center of that 4-piece embroidered flower. We're going to put that right there. Okay, so now I just need to kind of press these down in. And let's see. Lastly, what I'm going to do, I think you guys could see that there is a lot of sparkle in the ones that I've already done. I used diamond dust on the flowers on these, and see, you can see the sparkle there. So I am going to put some diamond dust on these. And the way that I'm going to do that is I use this Twinklets Diamond Dust, and I get this on Amazon. I will provide you with a link to that as well. And then I also use Deco Art Triple Thick, and that's what I put down before I sprinkle the diamond dust on top. So I'm going to take this Triple Thick, and I'm just going to brush a little bit on top of these flowers. Just a thin coat, you guys. Don't put this on too thick, especially if you're using embroidered flowers or something like that. And I would suggest looking around. You can find, these flowers were some that I cut out of a set of curtains. And I got, you know, of course there were hundreds of these embroidered flowers on these curtains, and so I cut these out knowing that I could use them on some of my projects, and I am going crazy with them. I just love the way they look on everything. And then with that diamond dust, I'm going to tap that down, and the reason I'm going to do that is because diamond dust is actually shards of glass. It's broken glass that's smashed up and turned into a dust, but there are little shards in here. So you want to definitely keep this away from any kids. Don't let them get a hold of it because it can cut your fingers, so you have to be really careful. And so I usually tap it down so that it lays flat on my piece. It may feel a little slightly rough in the end, but it's not sticking up so that those shards are going to, you know, hurt anybody. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the heart. Put a little bit of this triple thick over the top of these roses. Normally I don't use a paintbrush for this, but the reason that I'm using a paintbrush on these is because I want the coat of triple thick to be fairly thin, and really the brush kind of helps me control the consistency a little bit better on these flowers. So, okay, so I'm going to put some of this diamond dust. I am almost out. You guys can see I am almost out of this diamond dust, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to order some more soon because it is a staple in my craft supplies. I've always got it, and I use it on so many of my projects. Just because of the kind of sparkle that you get from it is unmatched by any other kind of glitter that you can use. I'm just saying, it's my favorite product, one of my favorite products to use as far as glitter goes. So, okay, so we've got the diamond dust on there. Now the other thing that I have, everybody, is I just recently purchased these little foam sparkly pieces. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the sparkle in these things is amazing. Oh my goodness, I just love it. Let me see if I use my phone and the flash on my phone, if you can see it a little bit better, because I'd really like for you guys to see these. Okay, so there's with my light shining. See the sparkle in those? Oh my gosh, you guys, I am in love with these, and they came in a huge bag, so I was really thrilled with finding those. Again, though, I got these in a little local shop that I shop at, and I may need to get lots more of these and somehow make some available in kits. Now, that's the other thing I'm going to start doing at some point, is kits. To make some of the things that I do on my YouTube channel. So I will be making those available in my Etsy shop soon. So these would be great for some of the kits, you know, for something like this, or some of the other projects that I'm going to be doing that I may use those in. So I think I am going to use some of these, not that one, on these two pieces, and I'm going to use that color on one, and I think I'll go with the green on the other one, just so that you can see the variation in these colors. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our hot glue gun for these, because we need an instant hold on these. So I am definitely going to use the hot glue gun. I think I'm going to place those there on the heart. So just a little bead will do. Put that one down. And that one. And that one. Right there. And I like to do things in 3 or 5, never in even numbers, do them in odd numbers. When you're adding items to a piece, they're always going to look better if they're done in odd numbers, just so that you know that. And then we're going to do these beautiful wine purplish colored ones on this butterfly, and actually I think I'm going to put them right here, because we're embellishing one side more than the other, because I do still want those beautiful embroidered flowers to show up on this piece. So then we have a little tiny ball here that I'm going to put as my third piece. And there we go. These, oopsies, these are so pretty and so popular. I have to tell you all, I am getting awesome reviews on these pieces. Actually, the only ones I've done so far are the magnets. So these are the first pendants. So I'm anxious to see how everybody feels about these pendants. Maybe I should do them one at a time. So there's the heart. Super pretty. And there is our butterfly. Really gorgeous. And I think on the butterfly, I'm going to add this chain just to kind of show you. I don't know if this is the chain that I will leave on it, but it's a chain I had handy right now. And this is just a little ball chain that I had sitting around. And this one, actually, I need to squeeze the closure together a little bit. Okay. So there we have a pendant necklace. And it is super pretty. Let me show you with my phone. I'm going to light this up. And this one actually, you know, I do have somewhere around here, if I can figure out where I laid them. Oh boy. Well, I did have around here, I was thinking of maybe like a, here they are. On this other one, putting one of these clasps on it. And you can use it as a purse charm. So that's actually a really very good idea for these as well. So the possibilities are endless with these, everybody. I just want you to kind of use your imagination. You don't have to do the same thing I'm doing with these. You can turn them into something that's completely your own, and you know, something that maybe you think you might use, or someone you know might like a gift made from one of these. I think these make spectacular Mother's Day gifts. And then this is just a clasp here you could hang on your purse and hang that off of your purse. You could shorten the chain. There we go. I want you guys to see what that is. You can shorten the chain if you wanted. You know, if this is too long, just take a couple of links out of the chain and shorten it up for whoever. And there you have it. Now I'm going to shine my phone light on these. The only thing is the triple thick has not dried yet. So they're going to look a little bit more cloudy right now than, say, these do, because the triple thick hasn't dried. But we're going to do this anyway, and I'll also show you some of these other ones with my camera light on so you can see just how sparkly they are. So here we go. Here's your heart. You can see the sparkle in that. Super pretty. And then here's our butterfly. And then let's show you some of these. These are already in my Etsy shop. So these are refrigerator magnets. The next ones that I'm showing you, these are all refrigerator magnets. And how pretty are these for Mother's Day? Oh my gosh, these are so gorgeous. What mother wouldn't love to have those on her refrigerator? And you can't tell me anybody you know has these. These are completely unique. Nobody else has them, and They are amazing and so fun to make, and really, you know, not that difficult when you think about it. Pretty easy to make. This little set is already going to a new home. Somebody purchased this set on in my Etsy shop, and I'm getting ready to package them up and send them on their way to their new home. So everybody, that's it for this video. I'm going to list in the description box below the items that I used from bbcraft.com. I used these bead caps, I used these glass beads, and I used this rhinestone in this project. So I used 3 out of the 5 things that I got from them in this tutorial. And then in my next tutorial, I'm going to use the other 2 items along with also some of this rhinestone chain. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, I'll list the links down below to the BB Craft items that I used in this video, as well as I'll also add a link for the triple thick and diamond dust, where I get those on Amazon. And I'll also include a link to my Etsy shop if you're interested in popping on over there and having a look at the stuff that I have for sale there. I greatly appreciate you just visiting, and if you see a couple of items that you really like and you're not, you know, ready to shop right now, just give them a favorite for me. And then if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that I can send you notifications when I put out new videos. Again, there will be another video coming out either today or tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a really, really blessed day, and we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.